Most men never learn the fundamental truths about women, not because they lack intelligence, but because they're too busy chasing what they don't understand. To truly live as a man, especially one who aspires to the Stoic ideal, you must be willing to confront uncomfortable realities and see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. Understanding the feminine psyche isn't about exploitation, it's about respect and about engaging with reality in a truthful way. These truths are rarely spoken, but once you see them, the confusion lifts. So let's begin with the first hidden female weakness, the deep-seated fear of abandonment. Beneath confidence or even bravado, many women carry a persistent anxiety, the fear that those they care about will leave them. This fear shapes countless behaviors, from the need for reassurance to the testing of boundaries in relationships. If you recognize this hidden vulnerability, you can respond with empathy rather than confusion or frustration. Understanding this first weakness is the key to building trust and navigating the complexities of any relationship. A woman speaking archetypally is drawn to strength. Strength signifies competence, the ability to contend with the harsh realities of the world, to impose order on chaos, to provide, to protect. A man's confidence signals he is capable of bearing responsibility, a trustworthy partner in life. The feminine spirit tests that strength, probing for weaknesses, like a structural engineer testing a bridge. These tests are not malicious, but a vetting process. If you stand firm, you demonstrate trustworthiness. She finds security in your steadfastness, allowing her to relax into her own nature. This is the central paradox. She admires strength but must test it to ensure it is real. Your unyielding nature secures her deepest loyalty and attraction. When you stand firm, you offer the greatest gift, the certainty that the house you build together will have a foundation of solid rock. There is a currency more valuable than gold: attention. For the feminine psyche, a man's focused presence is not just a pleasantry, it is oxygen, a profound affirmation of her significance. When a man offers his undivided attention, he says, "Out of all the world I choose you." This presence is power. It brings her into sharper being. Withdraw that attention and the world becomes grey. Indifference suffocates. Chaos follows as she seeks to confirm the connection still exists. True presence is active engagement, mind, words, and actions aligned. It is the ultimate demonstration of self-mastery. The man who masters his attention is king in his own domain, able to invite her in and make her feel like a queen. What is said is not always what is meant. This isn't deception, but a deeper truth rooted in the difference between words and being. A woman may say she wants a nice guy, but her true desires are often unspoken, felt rather than explained. If you follow her words exactly, you may miss her real longing. She navigates by instinct, not logic, by the stars, not a map. What she truly responds to is a man who is unapologetically himself. Listen past her words, watch her actions, her energy, her attention. The real test is to see beyond the surface, to the deeper currents beneath. Her truth is not a list of demands, but a living, breathing presence. Her actions are the footprints to her true desires. Be the man who understands the difference. Here we encounter a profound paradox of the masculine-feminine dynamic. Submission, so often misunderstood, is not about oppression, but about a voluntary, desired surrender, a yielding born of trust. A woman does not want to be dominated, but to be with a man whose strength allows her to let go. If you are weak or seeking her approval, she will take the lead. Capably, but at the cost of polarity and attraction. She will resent carrying the burden of leadership, longing instead to relax into trust. To be with a man she can't control is to finally be free from vigilance. She tests you, hoping you'll hold your ground, seeking the safety to surrender. The uncontrollable man is the lighthouse, steady, sovereign, and unshaken by her storms. Only then can she truly give herself, finding relief in surrender to a man she cannot control. Emotional chaos is her natural state, not a flaw but a fundamental mode of being. Like the ocean, her moods shift and flow, sometimes calm, sometimes stormy. This chaos is the source of her creative power, her intuition, her ability to connect with life's mysteries. The masculine mind seeks order, but her emotions are not a problem to be fixed. The wise man learns to be the mountain, steady, present, unshaken by the storm. He's not her manager or savior, but her rock. In this balance, he provides stability, she brings life. Together, they create harmony. There's a fundamental truth about the human psyche. For many, especially the feminine spirit, being ignored is more painful than being insulted. Insults, arguments, even conflict at least affirm her presence. They say, "You are here. You matter enough to provoke a reaction." Indifference, however, is a void. It's the silent declaration that she does not matter. For the feminine, this absence of attention can feel like the ultimate wound, a severance from connection and meaning. Your attention is a beam of light. When you direct it toward her, you say, "I see you, you matter. Be present, be engaged." Even in disagreement, maintain the connection, because indifference is the true death of relationship. In every relationship, she mirrors your energy. If you approach her with doubt or anxiety, you'll see that chaos reflected back at you, often magnified. She is an amplifier of the signal you transmit. If you lead with certainty and calm, she responds with trust and stability. Your energetic state sets the tone for the relationship. If you experience constant drama, look in the mirror first. Your strength becomes her security. Your purpose becomes her peace. The responsibility is yours. It always has been, always has. Herein lies one of the most subtle and crucial paradoxes of the masculine-feminine dynamic. It's a balancing act of immense importance. The feminine spirit yearns for a sense of safety, a feeling of being protected from the harshness and predation of the world. She needs to know there is a harbor, a safe port in the storm, a place of strength to which she can retreat. This is the masculine role of protector, and it is an archetypal imperative as old as humanity itself. It is the provision of a psychological and at times physical circle of security. However, and this is the vital counterpart, this circle of security must not become a cage. If your protection becomes control, if your concern becomes constriction, you are no longer a harbor. You have become a prison. She needs freedom. She needs the space to explore her own being, to have her own life, her own thoughts, her own friends. She needs to feel that she can sail out onto the open sea, knowing that the harbor is there, strong and steadfast, for her to return to. The strength of the harbor is meaningless if the ship is never allowed to leave the dock. A man who fails to understand this balance falls into one of two errors. The first is the error of neglect. He provides no harbor at all. He is absent, weak, or unreliable, forcing her to be in a constant state of self-protection, which drains her feminine energy and breeds resentment. She is perpetually adrift on a dangerous sea with no lighthouse to guide her home. This is a profound failure of masculine duty. She cannot relax into her nature because the environment is fundamentally unsafe. The second error is that of the tyrant, the jailer. He mistakes protection for possession. His insecurity manifests as a desperate need to control her every move, to monitor her thoughts, to isolate her from the world. He smothers her under the guise of caring for her. He thinks he is building a fortress to keep her safe, but he is actually building a cage to trap her. This is not strength. It is the most transparent form of weakness, a fear so profound that it cannot bear to let her be a separate and sovereign individual. The truly masculine path is the one that navigates this treacherous strait. It is the path of the confident protector. Your strength should be a wall at her back, not a fence in her path. It should be a source of implicit security, not explicit rules. She should feel your presence as a silent, unwavering confidence that she is safe with you and safe to be herself. This allows her the psychological freedom to flourish, to become more of who she is, not less. It is your strength that gives her the courage to be free. This requires a deep and abiding trust, both in her and, more importantly, in yourself. You must be secure enough in your own value and in your own path to know that she will to return to the harbour. You don't need to force her. The quality of the safety, respect and order you provide is what makes it the most desirable place for her to be. If you have to build a cage, it's because you suspect deep down that you haven't built a home worth returning to. Your need to control is a direct admission of your own inadequacy. Think of the eagle and its nest. The nest is high on the cliff, unassailable, a bastion of security. But the eagle soars, it explores the vastness of the sky. Its freedom is what defines it. It always knows, however, where the nest is. It is the anchor point, the center of its world, the place of safety to which it returns. The masculine frame is the mountain cliff, stable, strong and enduring. It provides the foundation for the nest, but it does not clip the eagle's wings. It celebrates her flight, knowing it is the strength of the foundation that makes such flight possible. So you must provide both. You must be the unwavering mountain and encourage her to be the soaring eagle. Offer her a world where she feels profoundly safe, but also profoundly free. A space where she's protected from the world's chaos, but not from her own potential. This is the delicate, powerful balance she craves, whether she can articulate it or not. She needs a home to anchor her, but an open sky to explore. Provide both, and you will have provided a space in which the feminine spirit can truly thrive. Her attraction is not logical, it is primal. It's not a matter of pros and cons or a calculated decision. It's a force that emerges from the ancient depths of her being, bypassing reason entirely. To appeal to it with logic is like trying to reason with a thunderstorm. It responds only to strength, to presence, to the unspoken signals of competence and calm. She may explain her attraction with stories, but the real trigger is instinctual, deeply biological. The man who tries to convince her is already lost. Attraction is not a debate or a transaction. Your task is not to argue for your worth, but to become worthy by embodying strength, purpose, and presence. When you do, her instincts will know. That is what truly draws her in. Here is a crucial truth. She needs to feel that your purpose is greater than her. If you make her the center of your universe, the relationship collapses under the weight of expectation. No one can bear being someone else's sole reason for living. She wants a man with a mission, a captain with a destination. She wants to join your journey, not be the journey itself. Only a man anchored in his own purpose can truly be present for a woman. When you have your own gravity, she is drawn to you. Your primary responsibility is to find your purpose, to build your own kingdom. Then you become a man on a mission, someone truly worthy of being followed. And so we come to the final, irreducible truth. She does not want control. She wants to surrender to the right man, not to a tyrant whose rule is born of insecurity and fear, and not to a simp whose supplication is a confession of his own emptiness. No, she wants to surrender to a man who leads with calm, quiet certainty, a man who has mastered himself and therefore has no need to dominate others. You must understand her nature, the chaotic, beautiful, primal force that she is, but you must never, ever bend to it in a way that compromises your own integrity. She does not want to tame the fire that is the masculine spirit. She wants to feel its heat from a safe distance. She wants to know that the fire is there, burning brightly, a beacon in the darkness, and she needs to know with absolute certainty that it would never dim just to please her, because a fire that can be so easily extinguished is no fire at all. It's just a flickering candle, and it offers no warmth against the cold. You are the Stoic man. You do not chase, you attract. You build a fire so bright and so warm that others are naturally drawn to it. You are not shaken by emotion, hers or your own. You are not distracted by the endless quest for approval. You are the unmoving pillar in the center of the temple. When she storms, you remain still. When she doubts, you stay certain. Because your power, your stability, your very essence does not come from her. It cannot. If it does, you are lost. It comes from purpose. It is rooted in the bedrock of your mission, in the principles you have chosen to live by. A man without purpose becomes needy. He becomes lost. He becomes a shadow of himself, a ghost haunting the ruins of his own potential. But a man of purpose is feared by lesser men, and he is adored by feminine women. You are not here to chase weakness in her or in yourself. You are here to embody strength. You are not here to beg for validation. You are here to build an unshakable frame. This path is not easy. It is the path of most resistance, but it is noble. It is the path of Marcus Aurelius, of Epictetus, of men who ruled not through dominance, but through discipline. Now go live it. Lead with silence. Stand with power, and watch her follow. You are the fire. You are the fortress. You are the Stoic man.